Hello, lovely friends. I'm back again for my third meditation video. We are continuing to work on breath meditation. The main difference between this meditation and the previous two is the length. Today we are going to be aiming for 40 minutes. If you do not feel like you're ready yet for 40 minutes, just continue working with the previous videos. However, if you are ready to jump in and try something a little longer, I encourage you to join along. Just like before, there will be guidance, and we will begin and end the meditation with 3 rings of the bell. All right, so let's get started. To begin, assume a comfortable posture. Either sit on the floor, on a cushion or a pillow, or in a chair with feet flat on the ground. If you are sitting on the floor, please sit in either half lotus, full lotus, cross-legged, or Burmese style. Your spine should be in alignment, stuck like pearls, one vertebrae on top of the other. Your chin should be tucked. Your gaze should be gently, softly looking 4 to 6 feet in front of you, or eyes closed. You can either hold your hands on your lap, or you can assume the Dhyana Mudra with the left hand as the base, representing the wisdom of space and emptiness, and the right hand on top, representing skillful means. The Dhyana Mudra is a symbol of the cosmic energies of the world and the cyclical nature of all things. We will start with a body scan from the top of the head. Please feel into the crown of your head and relax and release any tension that you feel. Move down to the face and the forehead, relaxing any tension through the eyebrows and the forehead. Relax the cheeks and the jaw. Relax through the back of the head and the neck, through the shoulder blades. Open them and draw them down. Relax through the chest and into the abdomen. If you have any tension due to stress or anxiety, try and breathe through that. Relax through the back and the spinal muscles, making sure to sit upright. Relax through the hips and the sit bones. This is where we hold a lot of our emotional tension and stress. So if you feel any kind of anxiety or fear, you may notice that your hips are very tight, gentle and soft with this area. Give it your love. We're going to move on to the left arm, from the forearm to the elbow, to the hand, and into the fingers, relaxing the intrinsic muscles of the hand. If you work on computers, they may be tight. And the right arm from the shoulder, the upper arm, the forearm, the hand, and the fingers. Relax and release any tension. We're going to go to the left leg, relaxing from the thigh to the knee to the calf and into the feet and the toes and the right thigh and the knee and the calf and the toes. Now go ahead and take 3 deep clearing breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, and release any tension that you've built up in the body during the day. After you have released the tension in your body, go ahead and assume a normal breathing style, breathing in and out through the nose. The breath should be natural. It should not be forced or constrained in any way. We are not working to do any kind of unusual breathing technique. We're only trying to be present to what is right now. We're using our breath as an anchor to quiet our monkey mind. As we breathe in, we can say breathing in. As we breathe out, we can say breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. As we breathe, we want to focus on one area or more of our breath. We can do that by focusing on the triangle of space beneath our nose, feeling the sensation of the air as it passes out of our nostrils and past our lip when we breathe out, or as the air passes through the nose, cooling our nostrils as we breathe in. You could also focus on the sensation of either the lungs or the abdomen as they expand and contract with each breath. A last option would be to focus on the breath as it comes in through the nose, fills the lungs, and then expands the belly. And then focusing as the belly contracts, the lungs collapse, and the breath goes out back through the nose. And as the breath comes in and out through the nose, the lungs, the abdomen, and then goes out from the abdomen, the lungs, the nose, we can count 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. If this seems too complicated and you just want to focus on one area of the breath, another thing you can do to help keep you really anchored to the breath and less distracted is to count the breaths as you go. Breathing in and out is considered one cycle. We tend to count on the out breath as we let go and release into the world. And there's a gap, and we naturally breathe in order to let go once more. And the cycle continues. Breathe in, out, 1, gap. In, out, 2, gap. In, out, 3, gap. In, out, 4, gap. In, out, 5, gap. In, out, 6, gap. In, out, 7, gap. In, out, 8, gap. In, out, 9, gap. In, out, 10, gap. And you can continue starting at 1 after you get through 10. gap is a very important little piece to notice. This little gap is where all of our potential is. This gap is where we can see through the storyline of our lives. We can stop and have a choice as to whether we continue to suffer in pain and anxiety and fear, or we can let it all go. That is where our mindfulness is developed, in that little moment of the gap. So please focus on it, even if you don't really understand it yet, that's okay. The more you meditate and then take that out into the world, the easier it becomes to understand that little moment of the gap. As we meditate on our breath, we are going to get distracted by our mind. It's totally normal. Do not think meditation is about escaping your mind. This is not a vacation. We are not meditating to get away from things. It may not always be comfortable as you sit here with only your thoughts and your feelings. You may feel a lot of discomfort come to the surface. You may notice things that you've been suppressing and pushing down for years start to bubble up. Don't stress about it. Don't worry. It's gonna happen. You're not doing it wrong. The goal is not to sit here in bliss and forget about your life. The goal is to touch in and see these things for what they are. More often than not, these fears, anxieties, worries are just stories we're telling ourselves in our minds. They don't have any basis in this beautiful reality. Our minds run amok all day long, feeding us lies. And one of the main goals of meditation is to sit with that and recognize it for what it is. Our minds are constantly grasping one thing and pushing another away. We think we know what's best for us, but we do not. What is best for us is just to be here right now with whatever is, whatever comes up. Be it happy, sad, joyful, or grief-stricken. The goal is to sit here and learn to love yourself no matter what comes up. See those little moments of fear and shame and judgment, and recognize those stories aren't real. You do not need to hold on to them. Let them go. Don't force them away, though. This is not a game of repression either. We are not stuffing our fears and worries away for a better time to deal with them. We are letting them come to the surface so we can give them love and compassion. And we experience whatever we come across as we travel through this world and this universe. And we should be open to whatever comes our way with joy and curiosity. Our breath gives us that opportunity. As we breathe in and out, we can connect to all that is around us. This breath is not our own breath. It comes from the wind and the air and the the trees. Get in the current of the breath. And don't fear where it's going to take you. That's only your mind speaking. We want to sink below those thoughts of fear and worry, anxiety, as they rise into from our periphery into our consciousness, and try and override our connection to the breath. Just watch those thoughts. If you're thinking about what you did yesterday, something you plan to do tomorrow, bills you have to pay, someplace you may need to be, just label it as thinking. Don't force it away. Don't push it down. Just watch it come and wait for it to go when it's ready. If you notice right away that you're thinking, then try to come back to the breath. Breathe in, breathe out, and begin your counting again from 1. Emotions should be treated the same way as a thought. You are no more your emotions than you are your thoughts, even though they feel more real, more painful in some ways, more deeply rooted. You are not anger. It is only something that rises through you. It is an energy that gets stuck at the heart level that needs to be relaxed and released through. As you feel these emotions, notice in your body where you feel them, and soften and release as much of the tension around that fear or worry or even joy as you can. And just let it go. Then label it as thinking about fear. Even your body can be thought of as a thought. Your back starts to ache or your knees are throbbing. Try your best not to let it bother you. Just see it as another sensory perception. Label it as discomfort. Of course, you do not need to sit in discomfort. You are more than welcome to move and try and reposition yourself to feel comfortable again. If you are feeling some discomfort, that's when you need to check back into your posture. Are you sitting upright? Is your spine in alignment? Do you have a nice strong base with your knees down, shoulders back, chin tucked? Are you perhaps leaning a little bit from one side to the other, forward or backward? Touch back in with your alignment. See if that can't help any of the discomfort you're feeling. If you have assumed a posture that no longer feels like you can sustain it, then of course, just let that posture go. If you need to drop the Dhyana Mudra and put your hands on your knees, then go ahead and do that. If you need to gently uncross your legs from a full lotus position to a half, cross-legged or Burmese style, then just gently and quietly let yourself do that and try to come back to the breath as soon as you can. Once again, come back to the breath. Breathe in, breathe out, 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 breathe in, breathe out. very favorite teachers, Thich Nhat Hanh, in one of his meditations, had a beautiful sentiment about breathing. He said this was a time to connect to our most pure nature, the Buddha nature. And as we sat, we had to remember that we are Buddhas. The Buddha is not a deity. The Buddha is not a god. It is not even really a human. It is a state of mind, of awakeness, of aliveness, connection to our life at its fullest. And so as we sit, we can connect with that aliveness within us. We do this by saying, as we breathe in and out, the Buddha sits, the Buddha breathes. 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 We are all Buddhas at the deepest level. Every last one of us. There is not a single soul on this planet or even in the cosmos that does not contain Buddha nature. It is within every living being. We are all made of stardust. And when we are done with this life, we will go back to stardust. Buddha sits, Buddha breathes. The Buddha sits, the Buddha breathes. Just connect to this moment, your aliveness at this moment. And breathe and sit and be with yourself. This is your time. You have nowhere to be. Nothing else really matters. It'll all still be there when you're done. Give yourself this time. Give yourself the space to be with yourself. Love yourself and grow. As you sit, you can start to listen to. We're not listening with just our ears, but with our whole being, with all 6 senses. It is most easy to listen with our ears. You can listen to the bees buzz. You can listen to your children talking, or your husband or wife. You can listen to the sound of the wind in the trees. You can listen to the bells in your property, like I hear on my property. Or if you're inside, maybe you hear electronic devices. If you listen closely enough, you can even hear the whooshing of your own blood within your ears. Just sit and listen. Maybe it's raining, or there's thunder. Maybe there are birds singing. You can also smell. and connect with the world around you through your sense of smell. What do you smell? If you're outside, maybe you smell damp earth, flowers, the scent of cedar wood. You may smell your own perfume. If you're inside, you might smell incense or cooking food. Just see what it is you can smell. Maybe there's nothing super strong. Maybe it's all sort of subtle. Notice that. Notice that you don't smell anything if that's the case. What do you feel? Do you feel a breeze upon your skin? Does it feel hot? Is it cool? Is your skin sweaty, clammy? Can you feel the cushion beneath your bottom? Can you feel a fly landing on your arm? Can you feel discomfort in your back or your spine? Don't judge these thoughts of feeling. Just notice them. Don't attach meaning. Just notice and connect with what is this moment. How do you feel right now in the present? And you can connect to your sense of taste. You may not taste much. Maybe you just taste saliva. Maybe you still have a lingering taste from something you ate or drank earlier in the day. Is your mouth dry? Is it moist? And of course, there's a sense of vision. And it seems like when we're meditating, we're trying to cut that sense off, but we're not, which is one of the reasons we keep our eyes open. We're not trying to get distracted by what's around us. In fact, you shouldn't directly look at any one particular thing if you can avoid it. Still keep your gaze soft, but just be aware of the play of light and dark. Things are moving. There are things in your periphery that you can see, your kids, your dogs, bugs, plants, colors or light. If you have your eyes closed, that doesn't mean you can't see. Maybe there's light coming through your eyelids, or is it dark? Darkness is as much a valid thing to see as anything. Feel into that darkness. Be the darkness. The last sense is our sixth sense, and with your sixth sense, I want you to intuit what you feel around you. Just feel the space and feel the plants or animals or people in your environment. If you are outside, if you're near a tree, try to feel into that tree in this moment. Can you sense if it has an emotion or a feeling to you? This may feel like you're telling yourself a little story, and that's okay. I'm not asking you to go on some sort of wild tailspin about what's going on with all the creatures around you, but just kind of feel into that for a moment in this present moment. Because we can connect more deeply with Mother Earth and nature and the other plants and animals and beings on this planet when we connect to them with our energy, with our spirit. And that is the goal of this exercise, is to feel that deep connection. We are part of all of that. That feeling all of those sensations, they make up this moment, and this moment is the only moment we have. The past doesn't exist, the future doesn't exist. All we have is right now. So let's feel it and be part of it. Let's be part of this earth and this planet and this world, circling around in this solar system and this galaxy and this universe, because there may be others. And this is where we landed, in this body, in this moment. And it is precious. We are so lucky to have everything that we do. No matter what it is, we have something to be grateful for. We are alive. We got to experience the joy and the fear and the danger and the worry of being alive. And it is only that we think of those things as bad, that we think of our life as anything but blissful. We can let go of the idea that those things are bad, then every moment can be joyful. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. In, 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 out. Buddha sits, Buddha breathes. The Buddha sits, Buddha breathes. You are the Buddha. The Buddha is within us all. We all have Buddha nature. We all have the potential for awakening. We all have potential for unlimited love and compassion. First, we have to start with ourselves. We have to love ourselves. We have to treat ourselves with more kindness, more gentleness, more generosity of spirit. We have to love ourselves enough to be true to what we need. This is not being self-centered or egotistical. We let go of the ego in order to love ourselves. The ego gets in the way. It controls us. It tells us we're not good enough, that we could do more, that we could be better. It is that nasty little voice in our mind that tries to hold on to one storyline of how things should be and criticizes all other outcomes. We need to let that go. Put it down right here, right now. Don't let it bind you. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. The Buddha sits, the Buddha breathes. As our meditation comes to an end, you will hear the bell 3 times. If you are ready, go ahead and start to come back into your body. Either gently open your eyes and wiggle your toes and your fingers. Stretch a little. Or if you feel the need to sit for a little longer, maybe you have really started to feel connected with this, then go ahead and sit as long as you need. Just feel into the body, focus on the breath. When you're ready, just gently bring yourself back, stretch your body and open your eyes, or start to look around again. Thank you all for joining me here today for this 40-minute breath meditation. I hope you got a lot out of it. Next time, I'm hoping to focus on loving kindness meditation. We'll take that in steps as well, probably starting with love for ourselves and then working on slightly more challenging relationships over the next couple of weeks, eventually culminating in a video of all the different levels as one. So hopefully I'll see you again next week. And as always, at the end of my meditations, I bow in honor of my practice, the good work I've done. I dedicate my merit to those who are in need in the world right now. And I thank you for joining me, my lovely Sangha, in this meditation. So I bow to my practice and to you. Namaste.